we get
Yes,
going,
sir.
we got our next guest ready to go, and my producer is texting me saying, do it. So I got my phone ringing. We're going to be talking with Manny Gamburyan, UFC fighter, catch up with him, see what he's got going on, and see what his future holds. I know the other day he tweeted something about some big news, and I wasn't able to follow up on that.
Oh,
Hey, good evening, Manny.
good evening.
Hey, it's Big Perm with Uncensored Mma. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, brother. It's good to hear from you again. What are we catching you doing? You at the gym tonight?
Yeah, I'll be at the gym. I'm actually on my way.
Well, hey, I won't take up too much of your precious time. I thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with us tonight, man.
Thank you for having me on. Not a problem, man.
Hey, you're welcome, brother. I want to bring in my co-host. Like last time, I got with me Dave the Butcher Clifford. Dave, are you there, bud?
Yeah, man, welcome back to the show. It's great to be hearing from you, and I hope that you're getting yourself back up to 100%, man. Looking forward to see you fight again, bro.
Oh, so Sunday to the south side. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see as August returns, late July.
Oh, sweet. Is that the big news that we heard about on Twitter? I mean, I'm itching to see you fight again. I mean, that last fight was great. You came out with a victory. We got to talk to you before it, and you think you're going to be doing it again here in a couple of months, eh?
Yep, I'm hoping. Good to go. So we'll see. I don't want to jinx myself, you know. I'm feeling good.
No, me neither. Nope. And I'm not jinxing anything. I'm just hoping that everything's going well. I'm backing right out of this one.
Thank you.
So, Manny, I know you've been putting in hard work with the guys at the Highest Stand Academy. How are things there at the gym?
Good, man. Good. Everything's going good. Training hard. Just waiting for the phone call. We'll see. Hopefully as soon as possible.
Awesome. Well, as I made mention on Facebook and Twitter, about interviewing you tonight, a friend of the show, a fan, wanted me to ask about you and Ronda Rousey and the work that you guys do together, and he just was wanting to know what you two actually like. What do you guys work on when you train together?
We work on a lot of certain things, like techniques where variations from different angles, different arm bars and chokes and submission game or stand-up game. Just we work on a lot of things all the time.
Now, when you're doing that, what is her strength like? I mean, is she not to make this about her or anything, but I'm curious about that because I know almost every female fighter that I know and that I've ever met got there by working out at a gym with mainly males, so they get strong.
100%. Every woman out there, if they're trainers or fighters, not only, if you have quality women to work out with, it's great, but if not, you got to work out with the man always. Not some men don't have no control when they're working out. They got to go really hard because at the end of the day, they're female, they're girls, but, at a certain point you got to work, you got to push them as much as you can.
And I've noticed that doesn't seem to be too much of a problem because these ladies are completely and truly competitors. They're challenging themselves just like anyone else, and it's pretty cool that you're able to help out with somebody so high profile that's so successful as well.
100%, man. 100%.
Now, as far as you're going, last time we talked to you, you were getting ready for Omigawa, and you put him down. You were scheduled to fight again,
that's almost like a decade ago. It feels like, This just stopped me. It was almost a year ago, man. It's August gonna be 1 year, so hopefully if I return for a fight 1 year, it's gonna be exactly 1 year. So it's not kind of fair. I'd rather fight every 2-3 months, but I guess it's not happening. The injury pushed me back for a while. The fractured elbow, and then the broken thumb. But hoping
that's nothing to play with. You just got to be ready, and if you're not ready,
it was a weird pain, not the thumb, starting out with the elbow. Elbow was the worst. I had it against Omigawa fight too, but I didn't know it was that serious. But I didn't get the MRI done. But now when I got the MRI done, I feel like I think, damn, that was crazy. I can't believe I did it, but at the end of the day, I did it. So.
So now that you've continued training again, How is your elbow getting better than it was before now? I mean, did it take a long time for you to even start training much? Because that controls a lot of what you do.
Man, I still haven't sparred yet, so I start my sparring very slowly because I can punch, I can throw anything, I can even do bag work. I started doing bag work 2 weeks ago, and then net work a little while ago. So surely, slowly getting back in there. It was painful, to be honest. It was really painful. It wasn't like a local, just a basic injury. It was pretty rough, and it was getting into my head, and I never thought I could, be 100% again. But I guess, it's feeling good again, and healthy to go back in there and do work.
Well, Manny, coming off an injury, just kind of a topic that's been in the news with the UFC, with the Belfort Rockhold fight that's coming up. Is the TRT use, and a lot of these fighters, coming off of injuries, they like to use that treatment. I just kind of wanted to get your opinion and your thoughts on TRT exemptions, for fighters.
It's never fair. I can tell you that much. Every fighter should be fair, and every fighter should be clean. They should be always get checked. Steroids, TRT, whatever the bullshit they've been using. I'm assuming most of the freaking fighters out there, they've been using it. I mean, they can check me through, head to toe. Never done it, I'll never do it, and, I've always been clean,
Good.
And I will always retire clean, so they can always check me out and anything like that. Looking at my body, people say, hey, there's no way you be using HGH or TRT. Like, dude, you guys can check me anytime, any document. You can do random check. I think every fighter should get a random check. That's my personal opinion, and there should be even UFC or any sport out there. It should be random checkups every single time. Doesn't matter you're fighting, you're not fighting, you're injured or anything like that. You should be checking all the time.
Yeah, and that makes sense because that doesn't give anybody a chance to develop a habit of relying on that. Because this sport,
100%.
regardless of where you come from, if you're a traditional martial artist or if you're just like our last guest, Ryan Tobar, his first gym was just a strictly MMA gym. He came from just being interested, and now he's making a pro debut. So it becomes really important in that, you're challenging yourself. You shouldn't be boosting anything, making yourself Superman or making yourself 40 pounds heavier so you're 20% slower. Just be yourself.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I like your answer, man. I appreciate that because I think it's bullshit too.
Every fighter should get random testing, random, all the time. You're in the camp.
I don't understand why they don't.
Fight coming up, anything like that, doesn't matter.
I do think they should quit messing with people for smoking weed, though.
Oh, even that too, you should never do drugs or anything that will help you fight better. You should just. Well,
some of these guys were using salves, and it gets in your system. And I understand, though, you're right. If it's illegal, you can't touch it. And if you're going to be serious about your career, and people are going to be paying money, and kids are going to be watching you, you're right about that, man.
Yep, 100%.
You're right about that. That's cool. You're good. You're
Manny,
a good role model, man.
Hell yeah. Well, Manny, you're off to the gym tonight. So, what are you working on at the gym tonight?
I'll be at the highest. I'm working on with my boys. Training there, which that's the gym I'm from. I usually train out of Gold Coast Academy, but I just like to train somewhere else all the time. Just mix it up with my work, boxing and the wrestling and all the parts. Just stand-up work is different, grappling's work different, and wrestling is different. So you gotta switch off a little bit. I go here and there all the time, travel different bodies. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, listen, we've been talking to a lot of different fighters about a lot of different things, and one topic, was the Olympics and the wrestling movement, the Save the Wrestling and the Olympics movement. With you coming from the judo background, do you fear that, if they lose wrestling, do you think that maybe some of these other combat sports may go by the wayside?
Man, how can you lose wrestling? How can you lose wrestling from Olympics? It's just a basic question to everyone, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm being honest. I don't care. I'm not a wrestler. My background is judo. I've done wrestling maybe a couple of times. Never fought at wrestling. Never wrestled. But it's part of it's been around forever, many years.
Yeah, the first Olympics they wrestled and ran.
It's been years, hundreds of years. How can you take off wrestling from Olympics? I just don't get it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but it just doesn't sound right. My opinion. I don't know.
It makes no sense to me at all. When I heard that, I thought it was like some kind of a prank or that I was seeing something wrong. Like it was misinformation. Because the internet's the internet. And then all of a sudden I started seeing that it was real. I mean, just like you, I was like, holy shit! How are you going to do that? How can you take the first sport that they ever did? The only reason they had Olympics was to find out who the toughest guy from all the different places was, man.
Yep. Of course,
there's 2,000-year-old plate of people throwing guys.
Even more. You can never go wrong with that. So.
And that's where judo came from too. You have to get somebody on the ground.
100%. 100%. Like I said, I don't consider myself a wrestler. I started judo for many years. I competed many nationals and internationals and nationals and junior Olympics to junior worlds. Never did wrestling, but I always wrestled with my boys because it helps support MMA. And it's a great martial artist. If you want to be an MMA fighter, that's going to be a amazing background wrestling.
Oh, certainly. Any type of submission, but just like anything else, you got to get them on the ground. And Hoist Gracie and the people that started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu were very fond of judo and trying to incorporate throws all the time. It has a rich background. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, have a little fun, is we had Carl Parisian on the show about a month ago or a few weeks back, and he was getting ready to fight Rick Hahn. And I wondered if you paid attention to that fight and what you thought of it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, healthy Carl Parisian is a deadly threat for any fighter out there. That's my opinion. Carl is a very talented fighter, very strong physically, mentally. It's just, he had tough times in his life, but now he's pretty good, doing good, training hard, But I'm sure he's going to be back. I'm sure, Carl's got heart of a lion, so I'm sure he's going to be back again and fighting again, and it's going to damage, I hope, one day I want to see him again in the UFC again, but, first, he's got to do his own stuff and, get back to the winning column and then get back to the UFC again.
I agree. What did you think of Hahn's performance?
Rick Hahn is a beast, man. He's got legit judo, Olympic-style judo. That's Olympic caliber judo. You can't go wrong with that. And he's got a devastating right hand, so I guess, when you're fighting Rick Hahn, you got to be cautious about that right hand because, it connects to going down.
Yeah, he's got a good chin too, man. I didn't realize how tough he was until that fight.
Yeah, Rick Hahn, I've known Rick Hahn for many years from judo background. He's always been tough and always been a very technical fighter.
That's awesome, man. You got a pretty good thing going. Oh, well, hey, man, that bell tells us that we got just about a minute left with you or so, and I wanted to kind of give you a chance to throw some thank yous out there to anybody that's been helping you get back to health and who you're training with now, and also, let our fans, let our listeners know how they can get in touch with you as well, please.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for having me on. You guys are being very good with me. Thank you very much so much. And I want to thank all my fans, my friends, my parents, my training partners at Highest Sun Academy, SK Golden Boys, GFC, Around the Rousey. So I want to thank every one of those guys, they've been, helping out. And hopefully I want to thank all my fans that, tune into it. Hopefully I'm back end of July or August, and we'll be back. Hopefully, we'll see, July or August.
Hey, well, Manny, we want to really say thanks to you as well, brother, for taking the time to talk with us, tonight and each and every time we call and bug you. It's always fun to talk to you and catch up and see what's going on in your life. And for me, my co-host Dave, and my producer Chris, we just again want to say thanks, brother, for taking the time tonight, and have yourself a good old time at the gym.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys all. Have a good one.
Likewise, man. Talk to you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Alrighty, Dave. Always fun catching up with UFC fighter Manny Gamburyan.
Yes, sir. Kind of got part of that big announcement out for us. Let us be the first to tell you that you can look for him to be fighting on the UFC here in late July or early August. Once again, Manville the Anvil Gamburyan, nursing that elbow and his thumb back to health. He's back in the gym now, and it's going to be dangerous for whoever's across the cage.